Right, Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining our weekly Hindumitra satsang. We are making an effort to have this slot dedicated to UK and Europe. Whatever be the needs of our UK and Europe brothers and sisters, they are free to kind of utilize this time to not only kind of discuss their own experience of practice of Sanatana Dharma, for instance, or any literature from ancient times that is related to spirituality, which may come from across the world. We believe in native wisdom. So that set aside, today we have a wonderful opportunity to have a discussion, and we have Dr. Suresh Swarnapuri joining us all the way from London. I would invite Karen Dabrowska to, if you can kindly introduce Dr. Suresh, and then we can allow him to do the honors to, enlighten us about Ayurveda.
Yes, well, we're very honored to have Dr. Suresh with us today. I think what he doesn't know about Ayurveda and traditional Indian medicine is probably not worth knowing. He's set up a lot of academies. He's founder and president of the Europe Ayurveda Academy France. He's the executive director of the Association of Ayurveda Academy in London, UK, and also of Ayurvedic centers in the Ukraine and Croatia and France. With the government of India, he's the international advisor and committee member, the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine in New Delhi. And quite recently, at a temple in southeast London, the MLVB temple, he was part of a very interesting conference on Ayurveda, which had as one of its main themes integrating Ayurveda into the National Health Service. So it would be great if Dr. Suresh could tell us maybe a little bit about Ayurveda and how complementary medicine can be integrated into a health system, which sadly, judging by what's happening to the NHS, is very broken and it needs some new inspiration and insight. Thank you very much, Dr. Suresh.
Thank you very much, Dabrowska. Very nice to... It's a Polish name, right?
It's a Polish name, yes. My parents
Dzień
Poland, yeah.
Okay, now we have Mario. He speaks also Croatian, so they're all close to each other, Croatian and Polish.
Pretty
everything.
close, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me today, and I'm very honored. And it's we are generally talking with our students and academy and all. This is a interesting platform for me to come up with Ayurveda at the spiritual level. That is one aspect of discussion what Dabrowska was explaining me, because it's a spiritual group. And another aspect is the NHS point that we take up at the end, probably 5-10 minutes, because it's the NHS problem is it's under process of making it more this thing. So let's if you all agree, I would like to go into this. How does the Ayurveda with the spirituality and how does they go together? That's we try to analyze. And before going to that, Ayurveda, we all know that it's Ayurveda is basically, most of you, the basics of Ayurveda you understand, but actually Ayurveda is much bigger than what we feel or what we understand. Ayurveda basically a physical, psychological and spiritual science, in just briefly. Why it is spiritual science? This is the question mark. Why does the spiritual people should work with Ayurveda? Is it needed actually, Ayurveda, for spiritual practice? And does the spirituality needs Ayurveda? Yes. Why? This and why. The idea is, in the Ayurveda, they said we have a sloka called Prasannatmendriya Manaha Swasti Itya Bidiyate. Then in the first line, this is called as the integrity of the mental level. Mental here, the point of mental with the consciousness. Prasanna Atma is the consciousness. Indriyas is the sensory organs. Manaha means mind. Prasannatma Indriya Manaha Swastya Ityabhidhyate. The context of this sloka is to make us to understand the spiritual line of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is misunderstood, mispracticed, and Ayurveda, it's just people think that it's just some spices or some massages. That's not true. Ayurveda, if you see that sloka, if you go to the first line, samadosha samadhatu samagnischa malakriyaha prasannatmendriya manaha swasti ityabhidhyate. The second line connects with the mental integrity of the mind. The first line connects with the integrity of the body, physical level. One is physical, another is mental integrity. So the integrity, they're trying to explain us how well this both physical integrity and mental integrity are connected together. If a health, this is the definition of the health in Ayurveda. In WHO, the definition of Ayurveda is absence of disease. According to Ayurveda, we don't agree that absence of disease doesn't make a person healthy. Health definition is a balanced doshas, balanced dhatus, balanced mala, balanced agni, and balanced indriya functions, balanced consciousness, balanced mental faculties. Does anybody have this? No. Then how can you consider as a health? There is no healthy person, frankly speaking. On the planet, there is no healthy person. We are diseased, sometimes we are healthy. Most of the people are diseased, sometimes they are healthy. It's not people think that I'm a healthy person, sometimes I'm diseased. That's not the way. Present generation, I would like to emphasize this sentence for the present generation. Sometimes people are healthy now during their lifetime. How do you make yourself healthy? By eating organic foods, can you become healthy? No. By eating organic, if you're thinking properly, you're going to become healthy? No. So just organic food, organic mental thinking doesn't make a person healthy. It says that we are connected with our consciousness. It is not the pacemaker which stimulates the heart function and does the heart makes the entire body to function. It is the consciousness which stimulates the pacemaker. This is the point according to Ayurveda. Pacemaker is a physical process, electrical impulses, who makes the pacemaker to function. According to Ayurveda, if you come to the second line, Prasannatmendriya Manaha Swastya Ityabhidhyate, that person who has the balanced mind, balanced consciousness, creates a healthy person. Isn't it? But from where the spirituality comes? What is spirit actually? Actually, we are all spiritual only. Those who have a spirit, they are spiritual. We cannot call a dead person as a spiritual because there is no Atma. There is no consciousness in the body. When it comes to Ayurveda, at the physical level, we are dividing the body. We are making the physiological functions into many aspects which are controlled by Panchamahabhutas. Panchamahabhutas are Prithvi, Ap, Teju, Vayu, Akasha. Earth, fire, all this air, ether, all these things we know. 5 elements which controls the human body and which form. They combine to form doshas. That is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Does this Panchamahabhutas present only in the human body or in the outside? Yes, it is present also in the universe. Panchamahabhutas are present in the universe. We are part of the universe or universe is part of us. The debate we lose because we are part of the universe. Does the universe is made up of Panchamahabhutas? Yes. Does your body made up of Panchamahabhutas? Yes. Do you have any link between the universe? Yes. And what is the bridge for that? How does we connect with the universe? One of the main reason why we do spirituality, we try to chant mantras, we chant slokas, and what is the effect on our body? There's a lot of research has been done on mantras. We have in Ayurveda also called mantra chikitsa. You treat a person with mantras by chanting mantras, isn't it? And these mantras have got a great effect on your prefrontal cortex of the brain. The brain is divided into three parts. One is the brainstem, which works on the respiration and balance. And the second is emotional brain. And the first one is the rational brain, isn't it? And here comes the spiritual effect of the body. The mantras has got a great role on your prefrontal cortex, which is essential for the balancing the consciousness. But where is the consciousness? In modern science, they say the consciousness is present in the frontal cortex of the brain. Can they see it? No. But how do you assess the consciousness? And where is the mind? No answer. They are physically non-existent. Yet, we are functioning only because of consciousness. The consciousness drives the functions of doshas, according to Ayurveda. But when it comes to modern science, they clearly sees human body as anatomy and physiology. That's all. Or mind. Anatomy, physiology. We go to the extent of understanding the consciousness with the Panchamahabhutas. Does the consciousness present only in the human body? No. We think that consciousness in our body, but consciousness is, we are present inside the consciousness actually. Because the entire life, consciousness means it's life. Every animal have a consciousness, it's a life. Consciousness, Atma. Consciousness is soul. Consciousness is life. Where is the life is present? It's everywhere in the world. Every plant has got life. Animals has got life. We are not only the people living we are not only the life on the planet. Everything is life. In between you and me, there is space. And there is a life present between you and me. Isn't it? So when you die, the life leaves you. What is the measurement of death? How do you understand death? The death is termed as, in the modern science, as the lack of heartbeats and the brain doesn't functions. But according to Ayurveda, we have a different concept of understanding the death. We say the consciousness has left the body, which is essential for the prana. So the consciousness in your body works in tandem with the prana, which is coming from outside. Both the prana and the consciousness are interconnected. The same vital force is flowing constantly into our body. When you are doing spiritual practices, you are just enhancing the vital force which is coming from the universe inside your body. That is the spirituality. What is spirituality? Enhancing the vital force which is coming from the universe in your body. We have spiritual process. Spiritual process is the life process. Jivatma, we call it as Jivatma. And in Sanskrit, we call it Paramatma. This is which is beyond your approach, beyond your reach. This is universal force. It doesn't matter whichever God we can create a God, this God, that God, Vishnu I have, Shiva I have. A lot of gods are there in India. You can create your own God in India. We have 33 millions of gods in India. You can choose whatever you want. The main idea is they're all connected with the universal force. In the galaxy, if you see the space, if you see the Akasha, Panchamahabhutas are Prithvi, Ap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha. Akasha Mahabhuta, which is the space. In that space, 0.0044% is only our galaxy space. Rest everything is empty. So Akasha is space, which is empty, which is dark, which nobody can see that. Only we are working with 0.004%, which is minuscule. And we are drawing the vital force from this entire space, which is 99.004%, or is completely empty, or it's full of energy, full of vital force. We are doing meditation not for our body. When we are doing meditations and all, you are connecting with the vital force, which is coming from outside, which is called as prana. When prana enters the nose, we call it as breath. We don't call it as breath when it is functioning inside the body, isn't it? So till nose it comes, it is breath. The breath is inspiration, expiration, phase. But how does it works? It works through the prana, which is coming from outside, enhancing the 5 types of vata present in the body, which is prana, udana, samana, apana, vyana. So the entire vital force is subdivided actually as 5 types. Does this 5 types of vata present in the body functions without vital force coming from outside? No. So what this indicates? Our entire physiology is connected with the spirituality. Spirituality, it doesn't mean that you are much bigger than what you're thinking. No. Every day we are spirituals. Every day we are spiritual processes going on in the body. You're doing satsang, you're doing meditations, you're doing pranayama to enhance the functions of the spiritual process in the body. Basically, it is happening. Basically, the spiritual process is happening. By practicing pranayama, yama means you're expanding your breath. For example, you are breathing 21,600 times per day. Is it enough? In the childhood, is it enough? In the middle age, is it enough? In the old age, is it enough? No, it's not enough. It changes with your age. Another aspect of why we do pranayamas, another very interesting factor for pranayama doing is our respiration rate is 12 to 14 times per minute. By practicing pranayama, widening the prana, you're enhancing the prana in our body. By practicing pranayama, you're bringing down to 10 or 11 to 10. A tortoise breathes 4 times per minute. That's why it lives for 100 years. A dog or a rat breathes 24 times per minute. They die fast. So when you are under high stress levels, people joining spiritual courses, spiritual practice they do, basically they think it's for relaxation. No. What is happening in spiritual process is you are bringing down the respiration rate. All our gurus, yogis, Himalayas, by practicing spiritual process, they bring it down to 5 to 6 breaths per respiration rate per minute. That is real spiritual process. Bringing down your respiration rate. Relaxation is one place of understanding the spiritual process, by bringing down the respiration rate, by practicing meditation. And this, what happens is, it enhances your life longevity. You will live longer without diseases. Whereas a rat and dog, their lifespan is only 12 years or maximum 15 years. They will die because respiration rate is high. When you have a high stress levels, your respiration rate reaches even 16. That means your lifespan is going to come down. How do you understand the lifespan? Then what is Ayurveda? The knowledge of life. Beautiful. It is not that knowledge of science. It is wrong. Ayurveda is it is not knowledge of science. Ayurveda is the knowledge of life. What does it mean? Ayurveda is the knowledge of spiritual life. Ayurveda is the knowledge of spirit. That means you are trying to understand, by understanding Ayurveda, you try to understand the spiritual process of life happening in the body. If there is no life, then there is a difference between the life and the lifestyle. Many people think that life means my wife, my children, going to bank, earning money, going to school. This is nonsense. These are all lifestyle. So lifestyle is an extension of your life. It has nothing to do with your life process in the body. Life in your body is the process. When you are deceased, the life process goes down. That's how the death occurs. If you go into the genetics, telomerase, there is an enzyme telomerase. You all know. When you are aging, when you are deceased, the length of the telomerase, size of that goes down. It becomes decreased. It becomes decreased when you are deceased. The decreased telomerase clearly suggests that the lifespan is coming down. When you are practicing yoga or spiritual process, the telomerase length increases to 40%. It's genetic science, and these people make a lot of research on telomerase with yoga practicing, telomerase with the practice of Ayurveda. The length of the telomerase increases. This is the sign. This is what we need. We practice spirituality. There is nothing like that there is a special area for spirituality in the body. We are spirituals. Everybody is spiritual only. Only thing is, you have to enhance it by practicing Ayurveda. That's why study of Ayurveda is a very important. Ayurveda, every spiritual seekers should understand Ayurveda, because Ayurveda clearly explains the study of life. It is not study of life science. Science is only exploring. There is no end for that. Science has nothing to do with life. Science is the modern word. What is science? Science is exploration. But we need to explore. We are always exploring everything away from the body. We are exploring the Mars. We are exploring the Jupiter. We are exploring the other planets, but we don't explore ourselves. So the study of exploration of life is spirituality. Exploring your own life process is the spirituality, isn't it? Bhagavad Gita or anywhere you study, so you explore yourself. Turn inwards, they say. What does it mean, turn inwards? Because you don't see anything outside. You don't see the life outside your body, because your sensory organs don't have the special significant understanding of life present outside the body. At least when you're practicing spirituality, you see within your body what is happening, isn't it? But still, another question is, where is the life in the body? Is there any specific area where the life is present? Every cell is consciously organized. Every cell is consciously organized. Every cell communicates with each other. Every cell has a mind. Every cell has the consciousness. That is why pranayama comes into picture here, or meditation comes into picture to enhance the spiritual process. When you're doing pranayama, you're enhancing the prana. You're expanding the prana. In this expansion of prana, you're decreasing the respiration rate. Otherwise, people are under stress everywhere. I don't have time. I'm very busy. What is this busy? Where we are going? Where we are ending? Busy. What busy? I don't know. I really don't understand what is the busy. I always joke to my students, busy means those who are unorganized, they are busy people. When you say busy. So it's very important. And here comes the enhancing your life process in the body. And Ayurveda is trying to explain how to understand this process to enhance, to make the life process to function in the body. You need a body. That's where the Ayurveda comes into picture. You cannot have a life without a body. You need a body, then you can have life inside the body. But how do you manage the body? That's the beauty of Ayurveda. So, understanding the mechanism of functioning of the body is Ayurveda. Why we need to understand the functioning of the body? Because it helps us to understand the life process in the body. If you try to understand the life process in the body, then physical process functioning will be enhanced. And doshas, dhatus, malas, all these things will be directed by the consciousness. It is the consciousness will create all the functional of the body. And what is the body is made up of? The body is made up of doshas, dhatus, malas. On top of that is the food. Body is nothing but food. Isn't it? Body is nothing but food. The more we are eating food, we are growing. Because of the food, we are growing. So it is completely body is made up of food only. But this is one area of understanding. The other area of understanding is for the food you are eating, you need an energy. You need elements, 5 elements. That 5 elements composition is the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. This makes this food, what we are eating, externally what you are breathing, it's an energy. Breathing gives an energy. Eating food gives an energy. But how to organize them? That's why I was telling my students in the afternoon. Life is the combination of time and energy. Study of understanding the energy is Ayurveda again. Study of understanding the energy. Energy here means doshas, functioning of dhatus, functioning of malas. This produces energy. Does the consciousness produce energy? No. Consciousness is untouched by Panchamahabhutas. In Bhagavad Gita, it says very clearly. Air cannot touch the consciousness, fire cannot touch the consciousness, space cannot touch the consciousness. Either of all the 5 elements cannot touch the consciousness. So it is away from this. But do you get does this energy comes from consciousness? Consciousness directs this energy. That is why it's very important to enhance our consciousness. In turn, this enhancing the consciousness increases the perceptions of sensory system. Prasannatmendriya manaha swastetya vidiyate. That means the mind is externally present. In the middle, you have buddhi, mind, buddhi, then indriyas. Indriyas means sensory organs, then mind, then consciousness. So you receive the perceptions through the visual perceptions, hearing perceptions, taste perceptions, all are received in the mind. Where is the mind? Mind is everywhere in the body. It's not just in the brain. According to Ayurveda, very clearly they mention mind, consciousness present in the heart. Hridayasthana, the seat of consciousness, the seat of mind is present in the heart region, very clearly mentioned in Ayurveda. That's why it's important to understand Ayurveda, to understand the spiritual process. All the spiritual seekers must read Ayurveda because you get a lot of information for the spiritual process. Just meditating and reaching, understanding the chakras is not enough. We need to understand the relation between the consciousness, doshas, dhatus, malas. Then you will understand what exactly the body can. You need a body for spirituality. You need for doing a meditation. You need a body. What you can do without body? So first, Ayurveda says to protect your body always, and prevent your body from the diseases, bring back the diseases from the disease to the normalcy, and prevent the diseases. Very clearly, swasthasya rakshanam aturasya prakara visamanam means Ayurveda very clearly mentioned protect the health of a person and bring the diseased person to normalcy. Why Ayurveda is necessary? You can be diseased, you can do spiritual process and you die. No, you need a body for spiritual process. If you want a body, you need Ayurveda. So all the spiritual seekers first must understand the importance of body. Also in Ayurveda, very, very nicely they mention, Siryate anena iti shariram. Siryate anena iti shariram. The one which undergoes destruction every day is human body. There is no construction. There is a construction when you are young. But when you are growing in age, there is no construction. It is only destruction. To prevent this destruction, damaging, anyway it will damage. Whether you eat good food, you get organic food, you eat whatever the hell we want. But when your aging process is going on, the body, the age of the person is also divided into 3 stages. Kapha Prakriti, Kapha, Pitta, Vata. Kapha means when you are childhood age. Naturally, immune system is started growing. Pitta period, that is the middle age. And Vata period, it is after 60 years. So there is it's only degeneration. There is no regeneration. So we need a body. We need a body for a long time living. For that, understanding Ayurveda is very important. When you have a good body, then you have a good spiritual process, isn't it? So that's what we need to understand about the spirituality with the Ayurveda. And another important thing is here we need to understand the breath. The breath, I always tell, Ayurveda is also science of study of breath. Ayurveda is also called as study of breath. Ayurveda is also called as study of study of energy. Ayurveda is also called as study of life. So we can put Ayurveda everywhere. So ultimately, what's the purpose of the human body? You need a body for everything. That's why you need to protect the body by understanding how to live. There is a lifestyle in Ayurveda we are teaching, and we are trying to tell the Prakriti and Vikruti. When you wanted to protect your body from diseases, you need to know what Prakriti you are, what physical constituency you have. This is important for the spiritual process also. Prakriti makes the spiritual process even better. Understanding the constitution is very, very important. Prakriti. If you know somebody nearby Ayurvedic doctors, please check your Prakriti constitution of your body, which will enable us to understand the life process in the body. And what is disease? When there is an alteration in physiology is a disease. alteration in physiology. That means your channels, which is in the body, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, is not flowing properly. It's obstructed. Pitta is not flowing properly. Kapha is not flowing properly. Dhatus are not functioning properly. When they are not functioning properly, naturally your lifespan goes down. So if you wanted to protect yourself, first you need a body. For that, this understanding Ayurveda is very, very important. So what I'm trying to explain you people is, for spiritual process, understanding the Ayurvedic knowledge, because Ayurveda yoga practices connects you with the individual forces to the universal forces. Because everything is Panchamahabhutas. Without Panchamahabhutas, there is no body. Without Panchamahabhutas, there is no universe. So spirituality is exploring yourself. To explore what is happening in your body, for that you need a body, first of all. To explore yourself means you need a body, first of all. A diseased body, what you can explore, even in spiritual process. You will get only disease. So first you need to have a healthy body, then you explore. We always say going inside the body, inside body. So understanding your own physiology. So by seeing, now I can see different kind what you people are doing, but I can't see what's happening inside my body. I can't see my blood circulation. I cannot see my liver function. I cannot see my pancreas function. I can only see what people are doing outside. That is the spiritual. Exploring the different dynamics in the body is spiritual process. And the life process is very important. The study of life. That means Ayurveda is a study of spirituality. Okay. Thank you very much. We discussed 30 minutes. And I have tried to combine Ayurveda with the spiritual process. If anybody have any questions, we can discuss. If something you people know. Hope it was clear, Karen.
Yes, it was really good. I was wondering if you could mention just briefly attempts to integrate Ayurveda.
Yes, I'll come to that. Sorry, I forgotten that.
So maybe about how people can contact.
Yes. Sorry, I forgotten that. So now we're coming back to the NHS. No, you want about NHS, right?
Just how Ayurveda is getting integrated into the
I
NHS.
have seen a lot of people discussing. There's a lot of discussions are going on integration of Ayurveda and NHS. First of all, the main drawback is NHS do not know the complete Ayurvedic knowledge. I had a discussion when I was in London with many people. I was discussing with them. For NHS, just go, I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, Ayurveda is a science, just integrate. It doesn't happen like that overnight. You need to build up educational courses for that. So my suggestion I was giving people is, just I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, I'll come and do at your hospital. I don't think that is the main blockages here. So my suggestion I was giving for them is, as we are doing academic courses and everything, the NSS should have first Ayurvedic education. Parallelly, the education should be there in a part of NHS system. First, Ayurveda should be entering into the in NHS not as a practice, but as an educational system. Then, over the period of time, it could convert into clinical practice. But if they don't know what is Ayurveda, now we discussed what is Ayurveda. Many people don't know Ayurveda. They think that Ayurveda is a masala. They think Ayurveda is just massages. So it's lack of understanding of Ayurveda. People are not able to integrate it properly. When we are doing international conference, the Member of Parliament, Sri Virendra Sharma, came to us in the conference. Virendra Sharma is the Member of Parliament in the British Parliament. He came And we raised the same thing for him. We said him very clearly, the main problem is people wants to bring the Ayurvedic practice into NHS. How does the practitioner they will allow if they don't understand the knowledge of Ayurveda? So I think, in my opinion, we are preparing some document on this. We wanted to submit to the British Parliament also through through the channels. For NHS also one copy, also with the British Parliament, and we are trying to explain to introduce Ayurveda education first at the basic level. Then slowly people understands what is Ayurveda, how do you treat Ayurveda, everything later in the clinical practice. At the onset, if you're trying to introduce the clinical practice without having any knowledge of Ayurveda, how does it work? That is why in NHS the Ayurveda it's not happening. So the integration should happen only with the Ayurvedic education. How and where, that should be discussed more. This is my way of understanding, and I explained very clearly in the London conference also, and everybody accepted this. You cannot see if you don't understand science properly, one Ayurveda knowledge properly. How do the NHS people, on what basis they will allow the Ayurvedic doctors to practice? They will not trust because they don't know ABCD in Ayurveda. Yes, they may know something Ayurveda, but there are a lot of knowledge in Ayurveda which they need to learn. And the integration, in my opinion, in the beginning, they should have a wing for educational wing, not as a clinical practice for few years. Then slowly understanding the basics of Ayurveda, then we can introduce the clinical practice later. That's how it's going to work. Otherwise, it will be happening like this only. They are not integrating. These people think that why the NHS is not accepting Ayurveda, and NHS think that we don't understand. So this will continue forever. This is my way of understanding. Only through education you can make the people to understand. Just with the clinical practice, I don't think, because they don't know what are the medicines in Ayurveda. There are a lot of medicines in Ayurveda for clinical practice. Before that, you need to know what is exactly Ayurveda. Now I very clearly explain what is Ayurveda actually. Ayurveda is not just even medicines, Ayurveda, the study of life it is. So integration, when you are doing integration, means you need to understand, without medicines also you can integrate Ayurveda into NHS in the beginning. Making the people to understand what is lifestyle, how does the body interact with the nature. These are the concepts, why can't they introduce? Then later we'll see. If everything goes fine, if they understand Ayurveda, then you can introduce medicines. Step by step only we can bring up into the integration. At a time, it's not going to happen. In my opinion, it may be taking years together. This is my way of understanding about integration. Yeah. Any questions, Dabrowski?
Oh, I'll let the other people, if anyone else has a question for Dr. Suresh.
I think people are from UK or India, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's Dr. Srinivas here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually driving, so I won't be able to switch on my video. I'm reaching my place in another 5 minutes. But anyway, my question is, what is the kind of research that we can do that is true to Ayurveda? Because as such, objective research is what we rely upon when it comes to science. So what will be the best way that we can actually do justice to Ayurveda for it to grow? As you very rightly pointed out, it's the study of life, which includes so many subtle things which may not be objectively easy to pick up. So your views, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what here. Two parts we have to divide here the discussions, but we cannot make any research physically for the consciousness. We cannot make physically any research for the mind. So then, what is the leftover? Leftover is the physical level. This is exactly evidence based. People are asking, whatever evidence you give and whatever it's only physical part, the researches are going on many diseases, but unless until, because Ayurveda is a basically conscious based approach, we should do Ayurvedic consultations and Ayurvedic treatment through the consciousness. How we can interpret this with the physical part? This is one area of understanding. That's why it's in limbo. But as having said that, to appease the modern world, modern so-called evidences, sciences, evidence, these things, we are doing a lot of research in India, and and in UK, for example, if you wanted to make a research, yes, you should make a research. As NHS, I said, this is why education, if you can develop educational system in NHS as a part of integrating system with education, then through the education we can do research also. Basically, research should be done on the lifestyle, seasonal routines, and daily routines. First, research should be done on that. Then we can do research on the medicines, clinical research with this herb, that herb. But the problem is directly we are going to the clinical research with the medicines. That's where the problem is coming up. We can do a lot of research. How does this lifestyle work in Ayurveda? How does daily routine help the health of a person? How does the daily routines, how does the seasonal routines prevent the diseases? Why can't we start research on that level? It doesn't need any other instruments for that to understand. Then the second part should be the physical part of the body, where you need still Vata Pitta Kapha. You can't even see in any microscope. Only through the Nadi Pariksha you see the Vata Pitta Kapha. But still, how you can make a research on that? Again, debatable. Only research you can come down at the end is the herbs. Ashwagandha, where it acting on the body, which part of the body is involved, what is the combination with other herbs. This is only the research part. This only area everybody is concentrating, clinical practice. In Ayurveda, it doesn't work out like that. There are so many things you can do research apart from medicines that could facilitate Ayurveda into NHS much better way. We can present Ayurveda. Once it is incorporated in NHS, this research on the lifestyle and the daily routines, how does the doshas are working on that, the next level we can take to the clinical practice with the herbs. This is the way it should go. But the problem is everybody is directly coming with the herbs, and this clinical practice we did in Ayurveda in India, so this should work and this medicine should work for this health, disease, and all these things. It's fine, this physical part. There are many areas are there. Spiritual part is there, psychological part is there. We could start with education with this area. The problem is people are trying to understand Ayurveda as a physical part only. That's where the problem starts. We need to go beyond the physical level, understand Ayurveda. There are so many things you can do Ayurveda, you can incorporate in NHS. Now, everybody asks NHS, first is medicines. They think about medicines only. First of all, many medicines cannot even bring from India to European countries. There is no, it's going to be it's very difficult for people in European countries to bring medicines from Ayurveda. So whatever the clinical research, everything is going on in India, it's useful for people inside India. When it's not available something already, and you are working on that to integrate into the NHS, how does it work out? So in my opinion, we have to divide this integration into three parts. One is Ayurvedic lifestyle, daily routines, and all those things in connection with the psychological levels, spiritual levels. Then you can bring the physical level part with the herbs, which is working on the doshas or dhatus or malas. Then we can do it. Without understanding the basic understanding of Ayurveda, they are not able to understand the NHS, and these people are blaming NHS, and NHS is not understanding. So this is going on since many years. This is my perception. I think we can work on this line. We are trying to we are preparing some documents on this area also. We spoke in the IAC conference, our conference. We hope something will come out soon.
Yes.
I had a
Yes, please.
question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's Jiten. I had a question, two questions really. Um, so the first one was regards with mantra chikitsa, and I wanted to ask you the importance of chanting the mantra correctly. So that includes a lot of people think it's just the pronunciation when it comes to chanting, but also the when you're singing, you're creating a frequency, and I think that kind of information is lost, or not lost, but we're kind of struggling with it. And the second question was sound healing and Ayurveda. Is there? I know there's connections, but is there more information out there?
Mantra Chikitsa, it's also told in Ayurveda. See, there are different kinds. That's what we need to understand. Ayurveda is not a simple science. It's a very, very complicated. It is. It's a lot of knowledge is involved in it. Mantra Chikitsa, yes. There are a lot of scientific, we have evidences because if you see in the brain, we have beta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, and delta waves in the brain, right? So beta waves is related to Vata. And delta waves and gamma waves, they're related to the kapha. Okay, so the beta waves, I'm speaking to you. It's a beta waves is going on in my brain. So constantly there is beta waves in the brain. So the mantra chikitsa, when you're chanting, for example, Vishnu Sahasranama, you're chanting Lalita Sahasranama, and you're chanting Kubera Lakshmi mantra. All these things, when you are chanting, this, immediately they bring down the beta waves in the brain. It's scientifically proven. They improve the alpha waves, they improve the theta waves, and even delta waves. And when you are chanting with a deep recitation, when you're doing for hours together, it can even go up to the gamma waves. That is we call as samadhi, where you are going to the deeper state of consciousness, isn't it? So mantra chikitsa, it's a very, very effective treatment. That only will help, may not be, but it's part of the treatment. It's part of the treatment which we are doing. If you go to even in villages in India, they don't know it affects the beta waves and all, but it has got electroencephalogram has been taken, and a lot of investigation has been done on mantra chikitsa, especially Gayatri mantra, for example. It works on the prefrontal cortex, isn't it? In the animals, the prefrontal cortex is short, and the back of the brain is bigger. The dog, you see, the prefrontal is short. That is why they don't understand all these things. Our prefrontal cortex is bigger, so we have a rational brain. And if we are chanting mantras, it functions it fires the hippocampus, it fires the prefrontal cortex, and making us to get into the delta waves quickly. Forget about the mantras. Simple Brahmari pranayama, if you do, Anulom Vilom pranayam do, immediately you will go from beta waves to alpha waves to delta waves, theta waves. It's scientifically done. And with EEG, electroencephalogram has been, there are a lot of waves has been identified with each mantras. So why not? I practice in the morning. When I get up in the morning, I listen to Vishnu Sahasranama. It makes I don't see my mobile phone immediately. No, I don't care. First, I listen to the Vishnu Sahasranama, because when you are sleeping, you are in delta waves. When you are coming out of the sleep, you are coming slowly. You need to come back to beta waves, delta, theta, alpha, beta. But at the moment you get up in the morning, you see the mobile, you are in the beta waves. So you have the transformation. That is why people are under high stress levels. They should allow their brain waves to come back to the normal beta waves. There comes the mantras. Chanting of mantras will help. And another question, I did not, I forgot it.
So the second question was, so now if you look on social media or anywhere, there's a lot of people They'll have musical instruments. People doing sound healing, something called a sound bath, where you use the frequencies of instruments to kind of heal us in a way. I was wondering if there was anything in Ayurveda with regards to that. There is stuff in the Mahabharata where we have people using the conch, the shank, and we've got references to a lot of different names for shanks as well. So each individual has their own shank, which has a specific frequency. They can identify the individual who's blowing the shank from that. So, for example, in the Mahabharata or in the Gita, it's written that they Devdatta shank and Panchajanya shank, such and such. When they're sounded together, they make a particular sound. So, I was wondering if in Ayurveda there is any.
It's a simple logic, I will tell you. Very simple logic. We are part of Pancha Mahabhutas. Sound comes from Akasha Mahabhuta. Sound, Shabda. Akasha means Shabda. Without Akasha Mahabhuta, there is no sound. You cannot hear sound without Akasha Mahabhuta. To listen to the sound, you need a space. For the penetration of sound waves, you need a space. Again, they are Pancha Mahabhutas. Whatever you do, sound vibrations or mantra chikitsa, at the end of the day, you are balancing the Pancha Mahabhutas.
I was just wondering if there
how
is.
effect you do, that's one system is there, because I also don't have much knowledge in sound areas, but definitely listening to the a frequency, a particular frequency, and still research is going on. A particular frequency, even mantras is a sound wave, sound only. At the end of the day, mantras, listening to the mantras is a sound only. Mantras is chanting is a sound only again. So we already discussed how does this sound work on these 4 levels. The sound, listening to the sound, we need to interpret it with the vata, because vata is the combination of akasha and vayu, space and air. So without these two, sound you cannot listen.
No.
That's how we understand in Ayurveda. That needs knowledge. Even for people who are practicing this, they need Ayurvedic knowledge.
I do have another question, and then I'll let someone else ask. The final question was that with the NHS and kind of a future with Ayurveda. I mean, in the past, we've seen that there's particular herbs and things that have been around, that have been used. And, we've had times in our history where the East India Trading Company, for example, would specifically be interested in opium. And then now we also see an opioid pandemic in the NHS, where people are giving a lot of opioids. Would you, for example, other herbs and other things that are in Ayurveda at the moment that are not banned or used in a different way by authorities to make money, would there be a way? So, for example, what I'm asking is, if there's a breakthrough in the use of a particular herb in curing cancer, for example, which you can actually grow yourself, would there be, that isn't banned already? Would they particularly would they have an interest in? Is there some kind of way of securing that for the future of Ayurveda?
No, we have a herbs called Jatamamsi. It functions. Actually, when you do pranayama, the opioid receptors are there. We have opioid receptors in the brain, and this pranayama enhances the opioid receptors in the brain. Actually, everybody have that. But Jatamamsi is a herb we are adding for anti-stress and all. It has got the effect, but unfortunately, this is not still accepted in Europe. So still work is going on this area, but exactly I don't know where exactly it is working here, and NHS what they are accepting. But in India, in Ayurveda, we have different kind of herbs has got a similar action. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I have to leave now. I have another session is there, And Dabroska, I hope everything is satisfied.
No, that's very kind of you to spare some of your valuable time. I put already some contact for your academy, and also through our group. I'll spread your email and your contact details. And thanks again, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Have a wonderful Saturday. Namaste.
Thank you.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Karanji will end the meeting with a Shanti Mantram. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukhabhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Right. Thank you once again for joining. I think it's a great start, great beginning, Karanji. So we'll definitely look forward to having more speakers come and share their knowledge with us. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That was a very good
Thank you.
talk, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.